But Al got this nugget about how Steve Summers had reached out to Jerry Seinfeld via email asking for Larry David's new email. He used to have Larry David's email. He must have changed it. Jerry Seinfeld did not like that request and said, this is not what friends do. Like, I'm not going to give you Larry David's email. And then Jerry and Steve had a falling out. So Al told this story on our show yesterday. A caller heard it on our show, was also listening when Steve was on the air last night, called Steve and brought this up. So Steve apparently, and this is the first time I'll be hearing this, Steve apparently talked about this and was also really miffed as to how Al got this information. So let's listen to Steve Summers last night in regards to Jerry Seinfeld.
So what's this with Al Duke said, a falling out with Jerry Seinfeld? You asked Jerry for Larry David's number? Is this true?
How did he know that? Well, yes. What did he say? Tell me.
Yeah, Al Duke said there was a falling out, that you asked Jerry Seinfeld for Larry David's number.
And he wouldn't give it to me. And he had given it to me before. We had Larry David on. He's a big Yankee fan. And we had a great conversation. And he also enjoyed the interview and said, you know what, you're a real doll. I'd be more than happy to do it again. Well, he had changed his email address. So I emailed Seinfeld. And Seinfeld's response was, that's out of order. That's not what friends ask from other friends.
That's not what friends do.
That is what I swear to you, and I've never told this story, and I don't even know how Al Dukes found out about it. But I didn't want to embarrass Seinfeld, first of all, and wouldn't give it to me again. And that's not what friends ask of other friends? Well, that's, of course, what friends do. And he had given me David's email to begin with. So, you know, if Larry David had said to Seinfeld, don't ever give my email address to Summers again, that's one thing. But we had a very good interview, and it was very funny, and he was being himself. Yeah, I'm surprised Al Dukes knows that story.
Sounds like there's a rift.
Mad, I was hurt. Because I couldn't understand what he was saying to me when he had given me the email address in the past.
That's not what friends do, Steve.
Wow. You know, that sounds like LeBron and Kyrie.
A little bit, yeah.
Well, he's a little hurt.
Not mad, I'm
Jerry.
hurt. Yeah, I'm not mad, I'm hurt. So I was actually the producer during that one Larry David interview. So I was there for that. I told you that story. And it was a great interview. He was right, and we had him on. All that stuff that Steve said was right, 100%.
So you don't think it would be that Larry secretly said to...
No,
okay.
Absolutely not. No, he was more than willing. Not only did we have his email, he also said, call this number. So Steve had emailed Larry. Larry gave him his office number. I set it up through his personal assistant, and he called in willingly. He could have ducked it at any time. It's so funny to me thinking about, you know, these multi-hundred millionaires in Larry David and Jerry Seinfeld, and here's Steve Summers that's caught
of it
in between this whole thing. How did Al Dukes know this? I never told anybody the story. Yeah, that's
and Al, that does not jog your memory as to how you heard this?
It does not. I honestly do not remember where I heard that
from. Now, you were in touch with all of Jerry Seinfeld's people and all that other stuff there for a while, weren't you?
For a little while, yeah. It was a number of years ago now.
Yeah.
I've had all very positive experiences with Jerry Seinfeld and his people.
Right.
So I don't remember where I got that story from. I really don't. I don't know who would have told me that.
Yeah, I know who told you that. But that's for another day. I'm going to protect these people.
All right.
But I do.
So someone who works at WFAN.
No, not necessarily. It came to me somehow. It always does, as Boomer says. This information always comes to me.
Man, my man is Mr. Scuttlebutt. You want to know something around here, you just go right to Geo.
Could be a former employee. Who knows?
Could be. Yes, it could be. But it did get to me at some point this morning. Who was that person? Now, where do we stand on this? Do we believe that Jerry Seinfeld is right about this or he's wrong about it? Because I happen to think that he's wrong about it because he did give him the information in the past. Jerry and Steve had a relationship that has involved trust over a number of years now. And as I explained to Boomer earlier, I'm not giving out Boomer's number to any old person. I'm not doing that. But if someone who had a previous relationship with Boomer that I trusted not to abuse that privilege, which Steve would not and has not and did not, I would absolutely give that number out. So, Al, where do you stand on this?
I agree. I think, or you write back, you know what, I'm not comfortable. I don't like to give out Larry's information. I can give him your information. If he's interested, he'll email you back.
Great idea.
Yeah, but like Jerry made him feel bad.
Yeah, he did. Right. He really did. There's many ways you could have handled that. Like, it was a how dare you moment from Jerry to Steve, which is not right.
Yeah, but celebrities tend to be weird, man. You know that. They're just kind of like different people, and they tend to see the world in a different way, and sometimes they don't want to put their other friends in bad situations.
But he did it once before.
Maybe that Steve would end up then
I don't know,
Larry David to come back on. I don't know. I can understand where Jerry's coming from to a certain extent.
Someone gave your phone number out to someone.
Yeah, but what I'm saying to you, though, Gio, is that you are the producer of this show, of Steve's show at the time.
At the time when we had Larry David on.
You heard the interview, and you heard how good it went and how nice he was to you, unlike Jerry, who was not very nice to you.
He was not, yes.
Which, again, it's a celebrity. It's like a big-time celebrity. Doesn't want to be bothered with the little people. So I understand kind of where he's coming from, but I also now see more through your eyes. Because, you got nothing. You have no axe to grind here.
Sure. Absolutely not.
All right, I get it. I see what you're saying. Yeah, I think Jerry's out of line.